This agreement, which still hasn't been finalized, would essentially pay water users across the West to use less water from the Colorado River. The Colorado River is a hugely important river across the West. It serves millions and millions of Americans. And what we've seen over the past couple of decades is that there's just not enough water in it to meet all the needs of all those people. This agreement primarily affects California and Arizona, specifically Arizona, because it is the single biggest user of the Colorado River. But it's also really important to bear in mind that California is hugely important to our country. I mean, California generates something like 13% of all the food that we eat in this country. It's something like 40% of all the produce that we eat that's grown in this country comes from California. So when we talk about the impacts, these are impacts that are being felt on the ground in Colorado, but they matter to every American who eats. The deal essentially pays people in California and Arizona and some Native American tribes to use less water. Now, that could be any number of different solutions. And so a farmer might make the decision like, hey, it's just not worth the hassle right now, and I could take some of this government money to let my fields run fallow this year to not raise cattle this year. And that has longer term impacts in terms of food availability. This deal is actually a short-term solution. It doesn't address the long-standing issues, which is that we're using more water than the Colorado really has to give. The problem is that climate experts tell us that we've been in a drought here in the West for 20 odd years, and it's probably not going to get better and will likely get worse. One of the big concerns about agreements like this is that there are 7 states in the compact that governs how the Colorado water is used. And there is a concern that we might see, an increased level of conflict between those states because every state has a legal allotment of water. And so there are sort of major structural changes that are necessary across the West in order to figure out how to make this system work better for everybody.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out these other videos from USA Today to stay up to date with all the latest news.